Two Shades Gabby here. It is 9:30 p.m. My wife went to bed early. She's just really tired today. Didn't sleep well last night. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get started on a box of nickels. This box came from Franklin, Indiana. We're going to see if we can get any 2024s in this box. And obviously, I'm always hoping to get a silver or a buffalo or something like that too. Don't know how far I'll get tonight, but we'll get it started, and then we'll see if we can get some more done tomorrow. Let's pull one out and get it going. I'm in the third row, and here is a 1948 Philadelphia. Maybe it was painted at one time or something. I don't know. The first two rows in each row, I found one from the 50s as well. So I have said this many times, but my nickel hoarding consists of everything that I find from 1938 up until 1959. I keep all of those. Obviously, the silver I keep separately. If I find buffalo nickels, those are separate. But my hoarding kind of coincides with collecting. And some people have asked why 1959 and older. I don't know for sure. I've been doing that for a long time. But it probably is the fact that I was born in 1960, and that makes them older than me. I don't know what other answer to give except that. I just came out of the bank that I go to every week, cashing in coins, and they finally had something in their change this time. I don't think any of it's silver. Definitely over $1. There's a token. Add to my token collection. Cool. The free change that I got in that one coin machine came to like $1.83. Plus a token, and I picked up another token in another machine, a coin from Chile. I picked up one Ike dollar today at one of the banks. I went to 9 banks today. I was returning coins and buying coins. I picked up 2 boxes of nickels and a box of half dollars. The half dollars are brand new, but the 2 boxes of nickels are not. I wish I could have done it the other way around. But this is what I got. The very next row, and I find what I've been finding so many of, 1946. Man, I'm finding a lot of these things. Denver, this one is. 46. A few minutes ago, it seemed like every time I would move a coin or make a little noise, I heard another noise going on. I'm like, what is that? And I'd stop for a second and I'd listen and I didn't hear anything. And then I'd like throw coins in the box or something. And at that same time, I heard the noise again. It's like, what is going on? I got up and started roaming around the house and looking and checking the doors and all that stuff. It's like, what's going on? And then I was in the hallway. Oh, there it was. It's my wife in there sneezing. Because when she starts sneezing, it's always 11 or more. It's poor thing. She sneezes more than any human I've ever known. It's weird. It's like, I don't know what causes it, but and she'll do it 2 or 3 times a day. She's likely sneezing. Once it starts, you're gonna get 11. I tell you. But when she's done, she's like, I'm worn out. She has to recover. Several years. Oh, I'll tell you this in a minute. I'll go ahead and tell you. It's a short, silly story. Yeah. We were driving past this high school. It was, I guess you'd say it was the rival high school of where I went. Just a few miles down the road from where I grew up. Just as I was passing the high school, and they were letting out, there was kids everywhere. This was a few years ago. I started sneezing. I sneezed, I think it was 17 times. It's like, what? How did this high school cause me to sneeze? I found another 1946. It's fairly beat up. And it's the 14th roll. It's gone this long. I did get, I usually get at least one Canadian in each box. I did find a Canadian, 1985. And a few rolls back, I found a 1958 D. And that's all I found so far. Tomorrow, my wife has some plans to, we had the windows put in, and they were old windows, and so they had to tear out the trim around the window, and some of that got busted up just because it's old and that sort of thing. So they replaced it with new trim. So it's got to be stained and that sort of stuff. So that's what my wife is going to do tomorrow. So I think I'll head out and go to a bunch of banks. I got a lot of coins to return, and I'll stop in a few places and buy some more. This next row I opened, I see I have got myself a penny. There's a 4-cent loss. Well, it's not as bad as it could be. It is a it is a copper penny, 1979. I hadn't even checked silver or copper prices in the last, I've been so busy, I just haven't checked it. And I see that silver has dropped below $30. And I think the last time I saw copper, each copper penny was worth like 2.72 cents each, something like that. It's down to 2.64 cents each, just a little bit over 2.5 cents each now. So, a little bit of a downswing in the market. Doesn't deter me. I'm sure it doesn't deter you. Yeah, I joined a credit union that has lots of branches, and they've all got coin machines, which is awesome. And I haven't been to half of them, so I'll probably venture out a little bit tomorrow and go to a few of those I haven't been to, returning coins. Oh, and it was one of those branches that about a week ago, I got 11 Ike dollars, and one of them was the silver. So I'll definitely be asking about those. This is the 16th row, and I did find a 57 and a 52 to add to my hoard. But I found St. John something. Is that St. John? I think that's what that is, yeah. I have no idea what that stands for, but usually when I find some sticker, I like to show it. I don't think that's keep worthy. Yeah, I'll probably head out of town a little bit tomorrow. There's a few outlying towns that have the credit union that I'm a part of. So I think I may venture out a little bit and see what I can get my hands on. 23rd row, here's a 1949. Any chance of it being an S and a semi-key date? No. Well, that's the third one I've gotten from the 40s. I did find one other a few rolls back from the 50s. So far, we're not finding much in this box. Not much at all. After this box, I'm going to pull out my hoard of nickels, and I'll go through. I've got the last few boxes of the things I've kept in a cup, and I'll put all them together and see where I'm at, and I'll show you guys if I think I've got a full box. We'll find out tonight or in the morning when I finish the box, rather, whenever I finish this box. As far as you're concerned, it'll be the end of the video. Well, I have already gone through 5 rows in the second half, and I'm just not finding much. Here's a few more from the 50s, a 52, 53, 57, and 58 that I will add to my stack. All is not lost, the 10th row in the second half. And I found a 2009D. I have found a few of these lately. That's pretty cool. But my poor old thumb. Sorry about that. 2009D. The D had a little bit more made than the P, but they're still both quite low mintage. That's a fun find there. Because I sure can't find a 2024. Goodness. I mean, I have found 2, but I'm going through a lot of nickels. Oh, and I found a 55 Denver and a 57. I'll point out the Denver because the 55 Philadelphia, you know, they only made about 8 million of them. Those are a good find. If you can find a 55 Philly. Oh my goodness. In the same row, folks, I just found a 2024D. Unbelievable. How about that? That is so cool. I got to get these things in 2x2s. Wow. In the same row, the 2009 and the 2024. That's pretty neat. There's a 57. Good roll there. Well, I wonder what the chances of finding another one of these guys is. Less than half a box to go. Well, there's 15 rows to go. We'll see what we find. The 12th row into the second half, I finally find another one in the 40s. This is only my 5th one. This one is D. And we have found a 2009 and a 2024. Now it'd be fun to find a wartime silver to go along with it. I think I've mentioned this before, but one time when I was working at the prison, you know, I had all the controls for the doors, electronic doors, and I would let one person out and then close that door, then let them, because everybody had a right to get out and walk the perimeter indoors an hour a day. There was a Kentucky state right, you know, for inmates. And so they would just walk up and down it. And then after their time was up, and sometimes they'd say, I don't want it. You know, they had the right to do that too. But one time I shut the door and I went to open another one and I opened the wrong one. And this fella, he had been a cutter. Oh, his skin was just all cut up. But he jumped out and looked at me and he put his arms out and goes, "Guard!" He started laughing, and he went right back in, and I closed the door, and he called me back there. He laughed about that for weeks. Remember when you opened that door? Just 5 rows to go in the box after this. This is the oldest one I found in this box. It's a 1941, and that is Philadelphia. Well, I don't know if we'll find another or not, but it sure was fun finding the one. That's 3 of the 2024s I have found now. I think they're all D. That same fella that I mentioned a minute ago that jumped out on me, he was depressed at one time, and I guess he picked it up because they're not supposed to have pens. And, you know, if they need to sign something, we bring it to them, and then we get it back from them. But I guess when he was down in geriatrics having lunch one day, he got a hold of a pen and he brought it up into his cell and he took that thing and shoved it way up into his throat. And then he started yelling for the guard, and we had to call paramedics, and they came out and they took him to the hospital. And for the next week, he talked about that fantastic ride he had going to the hospital, going past and seeing all the trees and all that. I think that was the only reason he did it, was just to get out for a day. Sad life. 3 rows to go, folks. Do you see what I'm looking at? There's another one that makes 2 I found in this box. That doubles how many I had before tonight. Man, that is so nice. That is really cool. I was hoping I might find another, but you certainly never know. A lot of these guys that were on that ward up there that I worked in, they wanted to, you know, it's a lonely life. They're in a cell by themselves and frequently don't get along a whole lot. There's, you know, there's usually somebody on a cell either side of them, but that don't mean they're going to get along with them, because it's an interesting crew, let me tell you. And so they just wanted to talk to me all the time, or at least several of them did. There were some that just didn't want to talk to anybody, but several of them wanted to talk a lot. And so I'd say, look, you know, I have paperwork to do. I've got to make my rounds. That's pretty cool, folks. 3 more rows. 1 row to go, and here is another 1946. Philadelphia. Winding it up here. Well, folks, that's it. Let me try to get my hoarding nickels sorted, and I'll show you what I've got. But we did find a couple of the 2024 Ds tonight, along with the 2009. That's pretty fun, pretty neat. I'll be right back with you. This is my Jefferson nickel hoard box. I've got 46 in there, and I'm adding 3 more to it after tonight and those that were in my cup over there. And so this will make 49. So I'm going to be 1 row away from having a full box. I thought I might have already had a full one, but I'm 1 shy. Well, that is it for tonight. We had a pretty good hunt. Pretty nifty, finding 2 of those 24s. And I'll see you soon.